What does it mean to live well? It's a question as old as consciousness. The Greeks called it eudaimonia, the art of flourishing through virtue and purpose. The Stoics spoke of harmony with nature. In Eastern traditions, it became balance, non-attachment and presence. And yet, here we are, more connected than ever, yet more exhausted, distracted and uncertain about what it means to truly thrive. Today we call this pursuit well-being, but beneath the modern language lives the same ancient longing to feel alive, grounded and whole. Over decades of research, many thinkers have tried to map this terrain through frameworks that help us understand what makes life good. Each one captures a facet of the truth, and together they form a kind of atlas of flourishing. Let's explore them and see what they reveal about how to live well. Why frameworks matter. Well-being is vast. It's part science, part philosophy, part art. Frameworks give shape to what we can't yet touch. They help governments measure more than GDP. They guide organizations toward cultures that energize rather than exhaust. They give families and individuals a compass for living deliberately. A framework doesn't create well-being, but it reveals where it hides. PERMA, the psychology of flourishing. In the late 1990s, psychologist Martin Seligman reframed the entire field of psychology. Instead of focusing on illness, he asked, what makes life worth living? His model, PERMA, offers 5 pillars of flourishing: positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, accomplishment. It showed that true happiness is not passive pleasure, but active participation, joy rooted in purpose and connection. PERMA became a language for balance, accomplishment supported by meaning, success grounded in love. Next up is SPIRE, the integration of being. The SPIRE model, developed by the Whole Being Institute, expands the conversation. It frames flourishing through 5 dimensions: spiritual, physical, intellectual, relational, and emotional. Where PERMA looked at positive psychology, SPIRE integrates the whole human. It reminds us that thriving is not only what we achieve, but who we become. In a world obsessed with performance, SPIRE invites reflection. Ryff's psychological well-being, the science of depth. Psychologist Carol Ryff sought to understand not what makes people happy, but what makes them whole. Her model identifies 6 dimensions: autonomy, environmental mastery, personal growth, positive relationships, purpose in life, and self-acceptance. Ryff's research bridged philosophy and data. It revealed that flourishing requires integrity, the courage to live in alignment with one's true values, even through struggle. It reminds us that well-being is not comfort, but coherence. Gallup's 5 elements, the data of daily life. Through decades of global research, Gallup identified 5 universal elements of well-being: career, social, financial, physical, and community. Across 150 nations, these factors consistently predict satisfaction and resilience. They show that flourishing is both personal and systemic, shaped by the work we do, the people we love, the health we sustain, and the communities we belong to. Well-being, Gallup discovered, is built every day through our routines, relationships, and responsibilities. Next is Maslow's hierarchy, the enduring ladder. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs remains one of the most recognizable models in psychology. It begins with survival, food, water, safety, and rises toward love, esteem, and ultimately self-actualization. Though debated, its enduring power lies in its simplicity. Unmet foundations destabilize everything above. Maslow reminds us that we can't meditate our way to fulfillment while neglecting sleep, nutrition, or belonging. Growth, in fact, begins with groundedness. Next up is flow, the state of immersion. Psychologist Csikszentmihalyi described one of the most intoxicating human states, flow. It's that feeling of deep absorption when action and awareness merge, where effort disappears and creativity feels effortless. In flow, dopamine and norepinephrine rise, sharpening focus and joy. Flow reveals that peak performance and peak well-being are often the same thing, both born from complete presence. As a surfer, I've chased that sensation through waves, and as a writer, through words. And flow isn't about escape. It's about immersion in the moment that matters, matching your skills with the challenge at hand. McKinsey's Holistic Health Framework, From Self to System. Consulting firm McKinsey & Company looked at well-being through a systemic lens. Their model integrates physical, mental, social, and spiritual dimensions. But what makes it unique is its distinction between demands and enablers. Demands include overload, toxic culture, poor job design. Enablers include autonomy, fairness, and psychological safety. McKinsey's insight is clear. Well-being is not just personal responsibility, it's organizational design. Culture itself can be regenerative or extractive. The 8 dimensions of well-being, a holistic compass. Many universities, including Harvard and Yale, teach a model built on 8 dimensions: physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, social, vocational, environmental, and financial. It offers a panoramic view of life's ecosystem, each domain influencing the others. The 8-dimension model reminds us that neglecting one sphere, whether physical health, financial stability, or connection to nature, weakens the whole. Flourishing, then, is the art of integration. Next is Life by Design, intentional living. From 2001 to 2013, I worked with Ian Hutchinson at Life by Design, a program that reached tens of thousands worldwide. It translated the science of fulfillment into practical domains: body and energy, emotion and social, mindset and growth, and career and work. It taught me that clarity creates control. When people know what they value, they can align their week, their relationships, and their work around it. Life by Design was my initiation into the craft of intentional living, where psychology meets practice. Next is Te Whare Tapa Whā, the wisdom of balance. In Aotearoa, New Zealand, Sir Mason Dury offered a model grounded in Māori wisdom, Te Whare Tapa Whā. Imagine a meeting house with 4 walls: physical, spiritual, family, and mental well-being. If one wall weakens, the whole structure tilts. This model beautifully captures an indigenous truth modern science is only rediscovering. Health is relational, not individual. You cannot heal the mind without caring for the body, spirit, and whānau, or family. Te Whare Tapa Whā teaches that balance is not a static state, but a living rhythm maintained through connection, respect, and care. Next is the Resilience Institute, the spiral of renewal. Later, at the Resilience Institute, I saw these principles evolve into something dynamic. Resilience was defined not as endurance, but as rhythm, the ability to bounce, to secure calm, and to perform with flow. It was called the Resilience Spiral, a model of upward growth through physical, emotional, cognitive, and social fitness. Through this lens, well-being became less about avoiding stress and more about mastering recovery, transforming friction into flow. Common threads. Across all these frameworks, different words point to the same truth. We need vitality, energy in the body. We need connection, belonging, and trust. We need meaning, purpose in the heart. We need growth, learning, and adaptability. We need balance, the integration that keeps everything in rhythm. To live well is to align these elements again and again as life shifts around us. Finally, I'd like to talk about the dimensions of performance toward Centropy. After 2 decades of exploring all of these models, I began to see well-being as something deeper than balance. It's what I call centropy, the opposite of entropy. Now, entropy is the natural drift toward decay. Centropy is life's resistance to it, the force that organizes, regenerates, and renews. To cultivate centropy, I work with 5 dimensions of performance. State, mastering the present moment through breath, posture, and awareness. Energy, building vitality through rest, movement, and recovery. Connection, strengthening empathy and belonging. Mindset, reframing stress and training focus. Habits, embedding values through daily practice. When these dimensions align, coherence emerges, that calm clarity that allows you to burn bright and not out. It's the living expression of all these frameworks distilled into one rhythm, the invitation. All of these models, from ancient wisdom to modern data, are simply ways of asking the same question: how can we live well? Each offers a language, a mirror, a path, but none are final. They're starting points for your own explanation. So which of these frameworks resonates with you? Which speaks to the season of life you're in now? Well-being isn't a program or a checklist. It's a living conversation between your body, your mind, your community, and your sense of purpose. The secret to well-being is not found in any one framework. It's found in the continual act of aligning who you are with how you live. Begin there and let your life itself become the framework.